Start. All right, man.
Yeah.
All right, now we back part two with Timothy Spears. I don't need to do the introduction. Everybody know who you are at this point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They might know. Perhaps.
All right. Well, let me just explain real quick. All right. So Timothy Spears, he's from Alabama. He's a personal trainer at Crunch Fitness. He was on the Netflix show called Outlast. So how's everything going?
Good, man. Good. Yeah. Like we were talking earlier, it's just life's finally starting to kind of turn around and get back on track. So that's been really nice compared to how things were all of last year. All of last year.
Man, last year was something else, man.
Dude, fuck 23. It was the whole year, like from January 12th ish all the way through. It was just a grind and a struggle, and just life, life.
But you're making it happen though.
Yeah. I had to because it was kind of a rock bottom scenario, and it still kind of is. I'm pretty broke, but it. I've always kind of learned things the hard way and never really like listen to advice and be like, yeah, all right, cool, I'm going to do that. It's just like, I'll figure it out. And then it's just what exactly this last year was. It was just a shit show of one, I guess, bad decision after the other. And then it just kept compiling. And then, a lifetime of neglect on certain aspects of my life too. It's just a lot. And then also too, having to, I guess, face and come to terms with all that shit that was happening and all the stuff I've been neglecting with myself and just the areas I was falling short and, having to face that and kind of just talk to yourself and be like, hey man, like you're kind of sucking it up in this area. Maybe you should do better. So that was nice to start kind of having things click a little bit and kind of help just, I don't know. I've been a horrible adult. I've been a horrible adult. Just having this 14-year-old mindset your whole life doesn't really work. But
no,
yeah, especially when you're starting to push 40. So
man, I know, man.
It's a thing.
But you aging gracefully though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. How are you? How have you been?
Man, I've been busy, bro. And 2024 kind of started out rough for me just because my car's it been in the shop for over a month now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my front axles went out and then a leak happened. We don't know where the leak's coming from.
I know. So, like out of the motor?
I don't know. It's not transmission fluid. It's not red.
But it's not oil? It's
just like, it's just clear. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, it could be power steering. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know shit.
But I was going to a yoga class and then my axle just stopped working while I was driving. So I couldn't even stop it. Trying to accelerate was hard. And I was like, man, so I got home finally. I managed to get home and I got my car towed. And it just been a ongoing thing. And the mechanic who had my vehicle, he haven't really got to it yet because he's been so busy. But I'm just like, man, like at this point, I need to get my car towed somewhere else at least.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know, just stuff with that. Overall, life is good. Like things coming up for me a little bit better, different opportunities.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to grow and evolve as a man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of this cold. Well, you like this cold weather?
I like the cold.
No, man. Let's talk about this, okay? This polar plunge thing. What is up with that?
What do you mean? What is up with it?
Like, what made you do that?
So I started doing it, really early to January of last year. So that might have been the one good thing that started happening. Yeah. So mid-December, I had my first panic attack after hitting a bowl of weed. I've smoked pretty much my whole life. And yeah, we were going somewhere and I hit the bowl and I was like, fuck, dude, I don't feel good. And then I didn't know then, but I had like a really big heart palpitation and I thought I was dying. And then it was just a nasty panic attack that lasted about an hour. Like we were in Berthoud and we were going to Netherlands. And when we stopped at some gas station and I was like, dude, I got to call the ambulance. Like I thought I was dying. And yeah, so we called the ambulance and we met the ambulance in Longmont. And yeah, so I went to the hospital there. They hooked me up and all that stuff because yeah, nobody knew what was going on. And by the time the ambulance got to the parking lot, of course the panic attack had calmed down. So there was that whole thing. And then, yeah, we got there and they hooked me up to their EKG thing, in which we found this out when I had to do the physical for Outlast. I had to get hooked up to a 24-hour heart monitoring thing because when I did my physical, they detected an anomaly it turns out I have what's called PAX. I don't remember what it stands for, but essentially the atrium in my heart gives off an extra beat or skips a beat sometimes. It's not fatal, but it's just scary and fucking horrifying. And you could watch on my EKG. So if you're familiar with it, the little heart monitor thing, usually when it comes across, it's like a small spike, comes down, a big spike, big bottom spike, small spike, flattens out.
Mm-hmm.
My first spike was down, and then it would go up, and then you could watch it flip. So it would be down, and then maybe 2 beats later, I could feel a palpitation, and then it would change to up. It was the weirdest thing watching that happen. Um, Long story short, yeah. So I started having panic attacks, and then you never met her. Her name's Julie. She used to be the group fitness manager at Crunch before Corey. She said she knew someone. I don't remember if she mentioned cold plunging or some. I don't remember, but she linked me up with Chris, and then I met him that weekend and started going. Cold plunging accompanied with stopping smoking weed and quitting drinking, the panic attacks, they started slowing down and then eventually stopped. So I don't know if it's probably a combination of everything, just, getting sober and the cold plunge. But the science behind the cold water therapy and just cold exposure therapy is pretty documented at this point. It, I don't really know chemically what it does. I do know you do get a pretty good dopamine bump afterwards. Several hundred X the time out of your baseline, maybe. That lasts for a few hours. It helps with a little bit of recovery as far as your muscles and stuff like that. Some soreness I've noticed, at least it kind of helps because all that contraction just pushes everything out of your extremities into your core, right? And then when you get out and warm back up, the blood rush. So it makes sense, I guess, that you're kind of just exchanging blood in there a little bit better. And then a big thing too is the mental fortitude that it builds. I like that aspect of it for sure, because if you're having to sit in some suck for 3 to 5, 10 minutes, however long you're in that cold water, your body instantly wants to get out of it, right? Like you don't want to be there. So your brain's freaking out, and it's a matter of like, shutting that up and just focusing on your breath and just being present. And after a minute or two, you kind of just go numb, and then you're fine for, but I only stay in with the water as cold as it is now, like 3 minutes. I'm good. It fucking hurts my feet so bad. I need some booties.
Oh, jeez.
If I had some booties, I could stay in for, my normal 5-6 minutes, but it's my feet. It hurts my feet so bad.
Well, I saw that video you posted. It was what, -6 outside?
Yeah, that was fucking dumb. I'm never doing that again.
Oh,
don't do that. There's no point in that. If you don't do it, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Because it was -6 outside.
Yeah. It was on a Sunday, right?
I think so. Yeah, because it was that big snap freeze.
Man.
It was the first cold we had here.
Yeah.
It'd been a pretty mild winter, so
right.
until that point. And then, so it was like -6 outside, I think. And funny enough, the weekend before, I think the water temp was like 42 degrees, no ice. There might have been ice starting to come along that Sunday, but there hadn't been any ice yet. And then that weekend, dude, it was like 7 inches of ice.
Oh man,
over the whole lake. And that, I don't think it got that thick last year. So, but yeah, the issue was, oh no, I'm lying. That the weekend the ice was starting to form was that weekend.
Okay.
Was the weekend of the super negatives, because it had been so warm it couldn't freeze that quick.
That's true.
But by the next weekend, 7 inches of ice had frozen up onto it. So yeah, so that cold snap started the ice. So that weekend we went, there wasn't any, but the water was so much warmer than the air, all the steam rising up, and the fucking wind was blowing.
Oh,
dude,
man.
My leg hair was freezing. I was the only this is going to sound sexist. I promise it's not. I was the only dude there. And so I was down there waiting on the girls to get done. And I don't know what the fuck they were. I don't know what they were doing. I was getting so mad. It was so cold. And I told Kara, the girl I rode with, I was like, look, I'm not fucking around today. Like, it's too cold. I'm getting out, undressed, water out, boom. Not. She's like, yeah, me too. Nope. Didn't happen. So because they were doing something, I don't know what they were doing. While I was waiting, my leg hair was freezing because of the steam off of the lake.
Oh man.
And then we got in, and one of the girls was like, dude, your back hair is freezing. I'm like, dude, yeah, no shit. It sucks. And then we got out, and yeah, like by the time my bag from the edge of the water was maybe 10 feet. By the time I got to my bag, just walking, all the water. I was frozen. Like I couldn't dry
Really?
off because all the water was frozen already.
Jeez,
Yeah,
man.
and it was so. That's why I was like, if it's below 15 degrees, I'm not gonna go. That's stupid.
Nah, that's too
That's
much.
how you get hurt.
Yeah.
Lose fucking appendages and stuff.
Wow.
So
you didn't get hypothermia in it? Well, I guess not.
No, I didn't. My feet took like 2 hours to warm back up though.
Oh man.
I actually had to get in the I didn't get in the shower. I just put hot water on my feet. Because I was getting a little nervous. I couldn't move. They were numb. And I was like, oh, this might not be good. And I was like, yeah, I'm not ever fucking doing that again. So I didn't go the next day.
Well, at least you got footage of it, right?
Yeah.
You say you done it.
We got pictures. And I think Yulia might have taken some video. I don't know. She probably did.
Well, I thought I saw a video on your Facebook or Instagram.
She probably did.
Okay.
I probably put on. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember seeing something. I said, really? Y'all jumping in that?
Yeah. No, not again. I won't do that again.
So it's like, what, 7 of y'all, 8?
It depends on the day. Usually Saturday, it's the core group. So it's usually like me, Chris, like the OGs, you know what I mean? Just the people that always go. And then Sundays are usually the bigger crowds. Like we've had like 20 people on the Sunday show up before.
Shit.
Yeah. Right now that shit sucks though, because with the lake frozen, people have to chop it out. And the more people, you have to chop out a bigger hole. It's the whole thing. And it's just like, oh, yeah, it's just a thing.
So would you ever get Brandy and Corey and everybody else to come through?
Corey went. She
really?
went. She went. Fuck, dude. Probably around my birthday, maybe somewhere around November.
Did she like it?
No. She didn't like it at all. The water was still in like the low 50s. So then I could stay in for 10 minutes. And I like that because I could feel the dopamine bump when I got out then. Like I felt high as fuck. I felt great. She, however, she doesn't like the cold. And usually the first time is pretty hard anyways. Because you should go. You should come. You should come do it. You should come do it. You should come do it and experience it yourself.
When's the next time you're doing it?
So we do it every Saturday and Sunday. If I have time today, I'm gonna go. I don't know. But every Saturday and Sunday at 3 is when we go. And we go to Satunka Cove. It's that northernmost parking lot at the reservoir.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah, dude.
I think about it. I think do it because I done a cold plunge one time at Savannah Float. I done that. You know what I'm talking about?
Savannah Float?
Savannah Float. It's over there by Whole Foods.
Oh, yeah. The place over there by Crunch. Yeah. I haven't been there.
Yeah.
I want to do a float tank there, though.
That's different.
Have you done those?
I've done it a few times.
How was that?
If you're claustrophobic, you won't like it. You know what I mean? Because you're in this cubicle in your birthday suit just floating for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's salt.
Oh, so you're naked?
Yeah. But
that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to try that.
A lot of salt. I think it's like 10,000 pounds of salt. In the water.
So you can float.
Yeah,
buoyant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've heard
and
a lot about it.
If you have any injuries, it's really good for that.
Yeah, because the magnesium, and so I've heard too that's supposed to help with anxiety and panic attacks, is because the magnesium is a relaxant. I don't know if that's the right word for it. It's a calming agent, maybe. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I've heard that's really good for you too.
Well, I had an injury. That's why I did it.
Really?
Because I was desperate. Oh man, I had a disc issue, so I had to do that for a while, and you gotta make sure you take a shower though, like before you go in and after you get out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because if you don't, which I made a mistake, I didn't wash my face that well. Like I had jizz on it, you know.
Yeah, it's all ashy.
Yeah, man. I'm like, nah. Yeah, it was horrible. And the manager, she didn't even tell me I had it on my face.
Yeah,
she let me walk out like that.
Dude, fucking training day, Cassie let me walk around with donut frosting in my beard. Or everybody did. No one said anything because we had donuts. And like I ate some donuts and was talking to people and doing shit. And I fucking go to the bathroom and there's fucking jizz all in my beard. And it's like, dude, no one said anything. Like on the corner of my mouth. It's like, all right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Was it that Saturday?
The Saturday training day.
Okay.
It was training day.
I didn't even see. I didn't notice. I guess I didn't see.
It was towards the end.
Okay.
It was towards the end of the day. I don't know. I don't remember when it happened. I was just upset when I saw it. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I've talked to at least 4 people with this. I know it had to be on my face because I ate a donut before I talked to them.
Hey, no judgment zone.
It's a fucking thing. Yeah. No judgment zone for sure. Not that there's anything wrong with having jizz on your face. It's just not what it was.
Yeah. Well, if I would have saw it, I would have said something.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was like, man, so you got something on your beard, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
No judgment here.
I didn't know float tanks were good for injuries or recovery and stuff like that. I thought it was just like a mental thing.
Well, it's like Epsom salt, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. It just on a bigger scale.
I didn't know that was good for injuries. I thought
Oh,
people
yeah.
just use that to relax.
No, well, you can.
Yeah.
But I used to fight, so I had like injuries in my hands and my legs
Right.
over the years. So I was soaking it for a while.
Right.
For like 15, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
In my bathtub. But there's 90 minutes. They play this classical music. Then once it stops, you gotta get up and shower.
Yeah. Can you pick like the music?
No.
No?
They pick it themselves. They have
Okay.
it, yeah.
Is it like that cool like massage therapy music where it's all like fucking chill?
Yeah, it's kind of like Beethoven type shit.
Fuck that. I'd rather be quiet. That would be gnarly.
Yeah,
if you didn't like, I feel like that would be intense. Because in my acid days, I was really intent on wanting to dose and then go get in a deprivation tank and just see how that went. But I was like, if it goes wrong, it's going to be awful. So probably good that I didn't follow through with that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, you want to definitely have some kind of music going on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It get pretty dark in there too. Well, inside the actual room is not dark. It's like a purple color or whatever color they have going on.
But it's dark in the tank. There's no lights.
Well, outside when you get out, yeah, it's dark. Yeah.
Wait, so when you're inside the tank, there's lights in there?
Yeah, but it's not like bright. It's just like a little bit of light going on.
Like some stars or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, you just float, man. You just get into your zone. Like I had fell asleep one time. I was so comfortable, I just passed out. But you will never drown. No.
That was my first thought. I was like, the fucking nose dips underwater and it's game over.
Nah, it won't happen.
Interesting.
No. Unless you want to drown.
Yeah. That's nah.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't know that was cool for that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. You should definitely give it a shot.
Just like you should give cold plunging a shot.
Man, isn't it called a polar plunge, right?
Cold plunge, polar. You can call it
thing.
whatever you want to. Cold exposure.
Fuck, man.
It sucks.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
Well,
it never gets easier. It's never fun. Every fucking time we get to the lake, dude, my feet start sweating, dread. It's just a whole thing. But, and I was talking to Chris about this. We haven't, cause his schedule's thing and let me back up here. I usually ride with him. He has a parking pass. I'm not paying $10 to park for fucking 20 minutes. We've gotten tickets before from parking up there without parking passes. So I usually ride with him. His schedule's been kind of awry. So he hasn't really been going consistently, and so neither have I. And we were saying that, the other day, yesterday actually, because he has a race. He's an ultra runner, and I was like, yeah, dude, I haven't been really in like 2 weeks either. Really, maybe since like the week after that cold snap or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I've been saying it a lot lately, and it's probably not good for me to say, but I've been questioning why I even do it anymore. I don't have panic attacks. So, and I know it's good for me, but it's gotten to where it's more of a nuisance than it has been fun, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like if I have to try and seek out to find a ride to get there, I'm just not going to go.
Yeah, I understand.
And I don't like having that mentality, but I've noticed the last few weeks, like I've been saying, like, I don't even know why I do this anymore. I say it jokingly, but thinking about it now, I guess it is kind of a serious issue for me. It's just like, why do I do it anymore? I've kind of lost the why. Aside from just doing it just because I know it benefits me, because I used to go out of my way to try to go, and it's like, what happened there? And I guess it's just, I don't know what happened. I just lost the whole. Yeah,
not excited, not enthused.
Yeah, I mean, it was just something else, and it sucks bad enough to where usually if there's any excuse to not do it, you're gonna take it.
Right.
So, and that's not the best thing. So yeah, struggled with that recently the last couple of weeks, I guess. So I should probably stop being a bitch and just go do it.
Yeah, just do it, man.
Just fucking do it.
I guess I will come one day.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Do you mind if I zen? Get a little zen in here.
That's your deal, bro. Yeah. But I guess I will come one day. I just got to figure out when and what day. You said Saturday and Sunday, right?
Saturdays and Sundays at 3.
Fuck.
And if you wanted to go, just hit me up, and because you only live like 4 minutes away from me.
Okay.
I live on Overland and Elizabeth.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you can just come over and you can ride with us.
All right.
If he has room in his car, and if not, we'll drive to LaPorte and ride with Kara.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll be fun. It's fun. It's cool. it's whatever, man. It's cool. It sucks. It's just a whole thing.
Yeah,
it's just a whole thing.
we're all suffering together, right?
Yeah. So that's what. So I will say that's what makes it way fucking easier is having other people in there eating the suck with you.
Could you do it by yourself?
Now probably I could probably do it by myself now. It actually a good question. Actually, it's a lot harder by yourself, at least by myself. Like some of the mornings I'd go to Kara's house and get in her tub and she wouldn't be outside. And it's the 3 minutes. I don't know what it is. It just sucks. It always sucks. It's never fun.
I guess we got people with you. They can kind of like coach you, like push you, like, hey man, you can do it. Come on, man.
So Yulia does that, especially if you're new.
Right.
So if you went, you would hold her hand for sure. She'd make you hold her hand and she would coach you on breathing and stuff like that. Cause it's a whole thing. It's a whole system shock, which I mean, that's what it is, right? But it's, so now I'm talking, I can remember. So one of the things that happens is the cold, your liver responds to it and sends out those cold shock proteins. That's one of the things that happens. I don't really know what they do. I haven't scientifically looked into it. Yeah. I should 100% know more about it, but it's good for you. It's fun in the aspect of it's a hard thing to do when you're doing it, but it just sucks every time.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm a Coloradonian, so I might well to do it, right?
Yeah, why not?
Just get the experience. I mean, like I said, I done the cold plunge at Samantha Float. They got a tub. I done that.
Yeah.
And when I jumped in, it knocked the wind out of me, man.
Yeah. It'll take your breath away.
Well, I put my foot in. I said, oh, hell no. So then I just slowly got myself in there. I'm not built for that, like to put my whole body in there yet. I just put like my waist.
You'll have to. You got to go up to your neck.
What?
Yeah, so you got to cover all your lymph nodes, and like that's the whole purpose.
Really?
Yeah, is getting up to your neck.
Really?
Again, I don't know why. Andrew Huberman talks about this on his podcast. Wim Hof, I'm sure, has talked about this plenty before too. But yeah, like halfway. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's still some benefit to it. But yeah, up to your neck, fully submerged. And then even like a lot of the people, they'll dunk as soon as they get in because something about getting your head cold drops your body temperature quicker. And it has some sort of response that initiates trying to warm your body back up quicker or something like that. I could be misspeaking. I probably am. But yeah, so some of them will dunk. There's this one guy that fucking swims around. I mean, you couldn't right now because it's frozen, but he would get in and swim around. And it's like, and I'm just like hands out of the water, just trying to just be like, fuck.
He's with you. He's not on social media like that.
Oh yeah, no, the dude was with us.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that come.
Shit, man. He actually, fuck, man.
Yeah,
that takes a lot of courage, man. Well, I don't say courage, but I guess mindset.
Courage initially to make yourself do it,
right?
And then
willpower, maybe
willpower, discipline, the ability to shut everything else out and say fuck it and go. I guess it's pretty dope.
I guess, man.
So again, the whole mental fortitude thing, that's what I mean is if you can do that, there's a good chance you can kind of conquer, and your day-to-day stresses. If something happens at work, you can, it makes things a little bit easier to kind of step out of. And
right.
It's still hard for me because I'm an emotionally reactive person. So that's what I've learned about myself. It's when something happens, I get flushed and it's really hard for me to step out of it and kind of view things objectively, at least in the moment. And I feel like that's not a good thing, especially if shit were to hit the fan, guns go off and shit. I don't need to be the guy fucking like, huh.
Yeah.
I want to be able to be present. And so that's why, this, and then jujitsu, I feel like jujitsu might be helping with that.
I was going to ask about that too.
Yeah. And I want to get into like MMA and stuff. Cause the big thing with, what I was talking about is I want to be able to get hit in the face and not go red. I want to be able to maintain presence and still be cognitive. And that's never been a strong suit for me. Every time I got hit in the face, it's just flash of red and then just wild swings, and it's not good. So
yeah, it takes a lot of practice, man.
Yeah, and so that's why I want to kind of get into that to help with that.
You should work me on some mitts one day.
Yeah, I've seen you working with Brandy, and obviously I've seen you work, with the heavy bag on your own and shit before. But yeah, I kind of want to do that.
Yeah, let me know.
And I've seen Brandy. I was like, God damn, like Brandy looks good. Like her form looks good. Her hooks, I was like, fuck, I didn't know she had that.
Bro, like I sparred her one time, right? Well, I sparred her a couple of times, but she hit me really hard with a hook. I'm like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. It went to my gut. I said, shit, that's okay. That's what's up. But she's a beast, though, seriously. I mean, if she would have like took it seriously a long time ago, she would have been a champ by now.
Yeah.
I think so.
For real?
Oh yeah, she
Nice.
got mad potential, bro. Like she got good speed, good power. She know how to transfer her weight to the punches
Yeah,
really
she's strong
well.
as fuck.
She is very
Yeah.
strong,
Yeah.
and she's very let's see, easy to train, to teach.
Coachable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah. Because
coachable.
I train her and Corey, or I have been training her and Corey.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
know
like
that.
so like weightlifting training.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, I don't think the boxing helps her, but she's got some overdeveloped traps, so she engages those traps a lot when she doesn't need to. So I've been working with them a lot, or her specifically on that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I've been working with them, and yeah, she's strong as fuck.
Oh, she is, bro.
Yeah,
Like that was, you got to work with us one day, man.
yeah. I should do that. That'd be cool.
I mean, you can
I
just
don't
let
know
me know.
shit. I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know how to punch right.
It's okay. I mean, I'm working with this 18-year-old kid. He don't really know what he's doing either, but he definitely started learning a little bit of little things after I showed him some things.
Yeah.
So it just a process, bro.
Yeah.
Just one step at a time.
Right.
It's not an overnight thing.
Yeah. You're right.
Because even if you don't get it in a week, that's okay.
I probably wouldn't.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
It took me a while. You know what I mean? I had to keep practicing for many years.
Right.
And shadow boxing, sparring professionals, and sparring national champs, and sparring street fights, whatever. You know what I mean? Just everybody. So
Right.
you know, you just take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just make it a thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. And just, you know, study tapes. Like look at the greats, watch their losses and their wins.
Right. That's where I fall short in jiu-jitsu, is because I don't comprehend it yet. You know what I mean?
A lot. It's different.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, find someone you like whose style you like, and I'm like, what the fuck do you mean a style? Like, because in my head it's just wrestling right now. I'm starting to kind of see what they mean by like different types of game different people have. Like somebody like I've learned that I guard pull. That's what I'm comfortable with doing right now. One of our guys likes being in side control. One of our guys is really good with like bolos and shit like that. So they have their own kind of area that they're expanding in, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know enough yet. And I mean, I can't afford to go to the classes, so I just go to the open mats.
It's expensive.
It is. And so I just learn what I can on Fridays when I go there.
Where you go to?
Inspire Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's over on, is it Mason? I think it's Mason. It's probably it's above Camp Bow Wow. It's in that same little building that's in.
I never heard of it. I had to check it out.
Yeah, it's good. So the coach is I don't know his last name. His name's Witt, and I think he was trained from Lovato. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming it's a big name because I follow them on jiu-jitsu now. I follow them on Instagram now.
Yeah.
So I guess Lovato's a big name, or I don't know. I just don't know enough. He's fucking awesome though. Obviously he's a black belt and he's kind of tall and lanky. And months ago, I rolled with him. He's like, "Hey, you want to move around?" And I was like, "Sure." And dude, I couldn't quit laughing and I told people after, it was the strangest physical experience I've ever had, because any movement I made, it was like an octopus, because it was just like watery. He was on top of every time I moved, there was a limb on top. It was fucking crazy. I can't even explain it really, but every time I moved, he already had a limb blocking that movement or covering it. And then the way he would just kind of like get me into an arm bar, let me go, get me into a choke, let me go, because he was just showing me, one, what he could do, but two, where I was fucking up and things that I wasn't blocking or accounting for and all that stuff. And then we rolled again, maybe a month ago, a little bit over a month ago, and it went much better. Like, he didn't get me into those positions as much. I didn't feel the pressure the same. Not saying that, I mean, he's probably taking a little bit easy. I don't know how that works, but yeah, it felt much better on my end, our last roll. So at least I can see some improvement too.
Yeah.
There. And then, yeah, having some of the guys tell me, like, there was one of our blue belts, name's Mac. He does a lot of leg stuff. I don't know what it would even be fucking called. And I was rolling with him, and it's kind of disrespectful and rude, but towards like the last 5 minutes, he couldn't get where I wouldn't let him get to where he wanted to go. And he kind of just put his hand right here and like smushed my face into the mat. And I laughed because I knew why he did it, because he was pissed because I wouldn't let him get to where he wanted to go. And I think the week prior to that, Aaron, one of our other blue belts, is a giant fucking Australian. He had me in a collar choke from the back. He had back control and had me in a collar choke for a full minute. But I've been in that position so much, I've gotten decently comfortable with being choked. You know what I mean? And I can kind of keep calm. and he just couldn't wrench it. And then the buzzer went off, and he sicked down really hard. And I was like, ah,
Damn.
it sucks, and it's disrespectful and mean as fucking assholes for that. But I know why they did it. It's because I was pissing them off because I wouldn't let them get to where they wanted to go. So, and then so after Mac shoved my face, he's like, you're getting better.
Wow, that's pretty awesome, I guess.
Yeah, it's cool
in a way.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's not easy.
No, fuck no.
Hell no.
It's really hard.
It is. I mean, I done it back in 2009. That's when I was doing it.
Oh, you used to do jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I did.
How long did you do it?
I did it for a few months. I didn't do it as much as I should have because
Yeah.
I was doing Muay Thai and boxing. I was doing and CrossFit as well.
Yeah.
So that's my thing, striking. But I do want to get back to grappling.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, because I think grappling is cool. It's a science to it, and I think it's a great tool to have.
It's fucking 4D chess. Yeah, it's just a constant game of chess. Like, oh, so I'm here. Or you're trying to go for an armbar, so your game's trying to get him to an armbar, and eventually he'll figure that out. And then it's cool how it's this whole back and forth constantly, and it's a good mental thing. And kind of the same thing with cold plunging. You have to be present. Nothing else can be there. It's just you and the other dude on the mat, and just I really like that aspect. It just takes everything else out, and the cardio is great too.
Oh man, yes,
the cardio is great.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the mental clarity that you get in jiu-jitsu while you're rolling, it's just so fucking cool.
Do you want those cauliflower ears?
No, I don't want that.
Okay.
I don't care for that. I mean, if I get them, I get them.
Right.
I understand like the cool thing of having it is like, because usually if I see a dude with cauliflower ear, I'm never going to fuck with that guy.
No.
Ever. Do you know Jared? Did you ever meet Jared? From the gym, bald head, big red beard, cauliflower ear, tattooed the fuck up.
I don't think I met him.
He was a really cool guy. Or he is a really cool guy. He's not dead. He's a really cool guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he used to be in the army or something like that, but he's a fighter. He was supposed to have a fight last October, but he ended up getting hurt.
How old is he?
Oh, fuck. If I had to guess, early 30s.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Late 20s at best. I don't really know.
I didn't meet him.
Yeah, he's not here right now. He's out of country right now.
How tall is he?
Ooh.
Like 6+?
6'1", maybe.
6'1", okay.
I think he might be a little bit taller than me. I can't really remember.
What weight does he fight at? Is he like 185?
That sounds good. He's pretty lean. He used to be really fat, apparently. I didn't know that. Shit. I saw his he posted a thing on his Instagram, and he was pretty overweight. I guess like maybe even in the military, and then once he got out, he was still pretty big. And dude's like, he's yoked. I mean, he's not like overly big. He's just built very, very good, like lean and good musculature. Fighting, just a fighting weight. You know what I mean? He looks like a fighter.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's awesome.
So would you ever compete?
So funny enough, I was talking to Corey the other day. The goal right now, obviously, is to get caught up with everything, get this job going, and just get financially caught up, and then afford jiu-jitsu classes. Eventually, I was telling her I would like to get into MMA with the striking like we were talking about, and then maybe go for a fight one day. I don't know though, because I don't want to put my age to it, but being 36 and never really having done any of that, dude, and I feel like I get pitted against some 25-year-old that's my weight and has been doing this since he was fucking 14, and I get rocked. Yeah, I don't really want that. I don't want any brain damage or anything,
right?
Even from sparring and shit. So the idea of it is very intriguing. I'm just scared. Scared to get hit in the face.
No, that's okay. I mean, everybody gets scared.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Tyson, he should get scared.
Yeah.
Before he get into the ring.
Right.
But once he in the ring, see his opponent, the fear goes away.
Yeah. I mean, no one else is Mike Tyson.
Right. That's true.
But I understand what you're saying. Not many people were raised like that poor boy.
No. I mean, honestly, even me, like I used to get nervous before I fight.
Yeah. But
once I'm in the ring, I'm good. Even when I spar, I might get nervous for a second, but once we get ready to go, I'm good.
Yeah. And that's what I mean, I guess that makes sense. Well, I've never done a competition on anything like that. So I don't think I would know. I would imagine I'd be nervous as fuck.
Oh, it's normal.
Yeah.
Everybody get nervous, you know what I mean? It's just how you channel it.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. And maybe, I don't know if I would know how to channel that. Just as being a scared little boy in a cage with fucking just like,
Yeah. I mean, what it can do, it can either make you fuck up or make you like very defensive.
So one of my hurdles with fighting is I'm not very offensive. Even in jiu-jitsu, I'm not very offensive. One, mostly on that, I don't really know what to do. And two, like even when we were younger and like, me and buddies would put on boxing gloves, I never liked doing that because it was my friend. So it was really hard for me to spar with somebody that I liked. So I was never really offensive. That being said, I feel like I got really good at defense based on my reaction stuff in jiu-jitsu and just kind of how things are for me anyways. Like I feel like I can weave a little bit, and I'm saying that based on very loose experience with things.
Yeah.
And like the couple times like people have swung on me, maybe not fully, but I've like blocked it or caught it, and it's like, oh shit, that's really cool. And then even like in jiu-jitsu, when I first started, before I knew what people were doing, I could read what their limb was doing and block it. So I feel like at least for my defense, I'm okay, but I'm scared to hurt people too. So offense has been a problem with me for as far as that goes. So overcoming that hurdle would be a thing too.
Well, just like I said, just holler at me, man.
Yeah, we should do that. That'd be fun.
Like me and Brandy, we do shit all the time, and other Grayson, he's like 20. It's because he's trying to do Muay Thai this week. He's trying to compete in that, but we've been sparring a lot. It's a few other guys I work with as well. So yeah, just come through, man. Let's work together one day.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Let me know. We do some mid work, do some different defense or slipping or ducking or strategy, whatever.
Yeah, that would be fun. That'd be cool to do.
It's tiring, but it's good.
Yeah. I mean, so is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so that's stuff like that's cool, man. It's functional. It's realistic. It's real world applicable.
Absolutely.
So that's and especially with as weird as shit's getting now. Like I really want to be able to protect. You know what I mean? If something were to happen, and so I want to get better at shooting, better at fighting, things like that. Corey was telling me what was going on in Texas recently. I don't know, and I can barely remember. It had something to do with obviously the border, all that shit going on down there,
right?
And then just hordes of people coming in, and then a lot of these people have been identified as they're on the terrorist watch list and shit. Oh, that's what it was. So all this was happening, and the regime that's in charge of our country right now was like, hey, you guys need to keep the borders down. And Texas was like, fuck, we're fucking keeping our border. You know what I mean? We're going to keep these walls built up. And then Putin flew to Texas and was like, hey, we'll fucking back Texas. If you guys are doing this, we'll back you.
Really?
And so I haven't looked into it. I'm taking this from words of someone that I trust. So I don't know where she got it from. So I don't know the whole story. There's probably a lot I'm missing, but yeah, the gist was Russia came in and was like, hey, Texas, we'll fucking support you if you're going to like try to secede from America or something like that, which
interesting.
That's been a talk for a long time, is Texas fucking seceding. Yeah. But yeah, so with all this crazy shit going on, man, like I'd really want to be prepared as far as like being able to provide and take care, protect, things like that. Because I asked Corey, I was like, what would you do if shit went down? And she's like, I guess we'd just stay here. And I was like, in your fucking house? And she's like, yeah, well, this is I'm like, no. You get a bug bag ready, and then we go to the mountains for 3 months. And then I was like, you don't stay in a city when shit goes down. That's where I was like, you're going to get robbed or killed within a week.
Yeah.
And then within the first 4 weeks, that's because after the first 2 weeks, people are going to start running out of food.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then that's when the pillaging and all the shit's going to start, if not a little bit sooner. And then most people, I believe, are going to die out in the first 3 months.
So you think that could happen here? Well, possibly, right?
100% it could happen here.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. And I don't want it to, but I mean, yeah, just you never know. And I'm sure every generation has its paranoias with world issues and conflicts and things like that. But fuck, dude, everything now is just so goddamn weird.
I mean, look at history. It repeats itself all the time.
Yeah, it does. And I was pondering on this the other day, with history repeating itself. Like, why is that a thing? Is that how, God or the Godiverse or whatever, is that how things are set up to repeat themselves until we learn the fucking lesson and then transcend beyond that? Is that what happened to, this is kind of off topic, but sort of on, is, so like the debate on the timeline of when the pyramids were built, the Great Pyramids of Giza, what the traditional view is, what, like 3 or 4 thousand years ago, something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Yeah,
And some king had slaves build it over the course of 10, 20 years,
it was something like
something
that.
like
Yeah,
that.
they work hard.
Yeah, yeah, they worked hard if that's how it went down.
Yeah.
So there's this alternate view of things by his name's Randall Carlson and what's the other, Graham Hancock. So Joe Rogan's had him on a few times. Graham Hancock has a show on Netflix kind of talking about it. So their whole theory was 11,800 years ago ish. Uh, so every June and November, I think it is. Right now, we go through like an asteroid field while we're going around the sun, um, and it's called the Younger Dryas thing. I could be misspeaking a little bit, but the point is 11,800 years ago, they believe we went through this asteroid belt and we just got bombarded, and it essentially restarted civilization. And one of their big things on that was this place called Gobekli Tepe, and it was this city that was purposefully buried. I don't know how they determined it was purposely buried, but it it dates back to that timeline, like 12,000 years ago, before they believe advanced civilization started. And so their theory is how many times has that happened? How many times has because I think their point was the pyramids got built and perhaps they had a technology, perhaps their whole way of technology was different than ours. They were just as advanced as us, but they took a different route. Where we took electronics and gasoline, they took something else.
Right.
It's a theory. We don't know for sure, but it's very, very interesting because bringing up the points, like how many times has that happened? Atlantis was a big thing they were talking about. It was according to Plato, the pinnacle of civilization back then. What happened? A flood took it out, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, so asteroids hitting water, that's going to cause giant tsunamis to flood areas. And so they believe that we just got bombarded with asteroids around 12,000 years ago, and it just fucking sent everything back and it restarted civilization. And I think their theory was stuff like that happens. You know what I mean? Like we get so advanced and then just something happens and boom, we're back to fucking, the only people that are going to survive are the fucking monstrous people that rape, murder, do what they have to do to survive. And that's where, and I think that was a good theory to why humans are like we are, why we're so territorial and, we just seek power and stuff like that. It's just because that's the genealogy that started from the restart. You know what I mean? Those are the people that survived. So those are the genes that went through. It's a cool theory.
Yeah.
I like it.
It may make sense in some ways.
Yeah. I don't know how we went from weird current world events to that, but yeah, whatever. It's a cool theory. And I don't remember where I was going with that at all.
What we're talking about, how like history repeat itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so, like, does it repeat itself over and over until we learn the lesson, or whatever lesson that may be? I don't know.
I mean, I think people in general just don't like to learn shit either. They like to do their own thing, and then it just, people don't read history enough at all.
Yeah,
to learn from it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even then, the history you're reading could be falsified.
That's true too.
And we're seeing that. Well, so are you familiar with the conspiracy behind the Mandela effect?
I read a little bit of it. I didn't read the whole thing. I didn't get too deep into it.
So all it is basically it's a conspiracy for the Mandela effect. Is basically they're saying the government is changing things, little things like that, to see if we notice, to see what they can change without us noticing at all.
Right.
And the big one that I remember was Fruit of the Loom. The logo had the cornucopia on that. I remember having that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have it now. It's just the fruit, not the little basket behind it.
I remember. Yeah.
And so Fruit of the Loom came out and it's like, hey, we've never had a cornucopia in our logo. And you can go to their website or Google it or whatever. And like all the logos they've had since the 1800s, none of them have a cornucopia in it. But some girl was like, no, fuck that. And she found one of her old shirts that was Fruit of the Loom and it has the cornucopia logo on it.
Wow.
And so it's little things like that they're saying that they're changing just to see what we'll notice.
Right.
And I was like, fuck, I mean, it's so sad, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
I hate that it makes sense. But I was like, it's super fucking tinfoil hat. But, whatever.
People don't like to learn about shit.
No, they don't. it's hard to learn.
It is. I mean, just like even with family shit, right? Like I try to learn from the past mistakes, like my father and uncles that they made. I don't want to repeat the same history that they made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because it's not good.
Yeah.
No offense to them. I mean, they know I'm telling the truth. They know I'm right. But you know, so I try to learn from other people's mistakes as well, man.
Yeah.
That's why I try to read history as well when I can, because I just want to make society better than when I came. That's
Right.
all. At least I try to, at least.
Yeah. I mean, that should be the goal. That should be the goal, right?
Right.
But I think, I don't know, maybe selfishness is probably a big thing holding that back, like the progressions, because we don't think about the future generations anymore.
No.
It's all about now. And, what can I get? What can we do? And yeah, it's just everything's so selfish. Like, how much money can I make? How much stuff can I get compared to what legacy can I leave here? What can I do to impact 3 generations from now? What can I do to help save people? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's enough of that. And just all the focus on finance and power and stuff is just in the wrong avenue. Like,
I gotta get the bag. That's what they say.
Yeah, dude, you just want the money.
Right.
And fuck money. It's just fuck paper, dude.
So do you think social media kind of helps that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Social media is fucking awful for humanity.
Yeah.
It has its benefits for sure. Like, you're posting inspirational stuff, motivational stuff. You're helping people out there you may not know you're helping. And so that's a really good side of it. But the the instant gratification that one seeks from social media it's detrimental to society, because delayed gratification is what creates like a better, I don't, the whole saying with delayed gratification, I don't know what it is. I can't even remember what the fuck the whole thing for it was, but delaying that gratification makes you a better person for whatever reason, instead of just like, hey, I want this, or the dopamine. Because even me, like, I see likes popping off on myself.
Oh,
I was like,
man.
fuck yeah, dude. I got 15 likes. Let's go, dude.
Right.
I mean, so that's cool, but what purpose is that serving? You know what I mean? But
It's an ego boost.
They said that's the whole model of social media platforms, is to give you that dopamine bump to keep you interacting, to keep you on that app. That's why TikTok's so goddamn addictive. Do you have TikTok at all?
No, I haven't. I don't.
Fuck,
I didn't make one for my podcast, but I don't.
Yeah, dude, it's a thing. Like, I get stuck on there for fucking hours. It's such a good it's a good design for what they're trying to do. The short clips, and you can just scroll, and then it's pretty quick on picking up what you like too. So the algorithm can change like while you're scrolling, and then it just a bunch of stuff.
Do you post on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not much. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. Like the other day, it was I bet you can't watch this video and not sing along or dance. That Corey was like, I bet you can't do this. And I duetted that, and it was the old 90s songs that I fucking love. And I was like, dude, of course I can't do this. So things like, but yeah, I don't really post content on there like I do for my Instagram, from my fitness page and stuff. But yeah, I kind of just use that for brain mush.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, social media is a pros and cons to it, but I see a lot of detriment with that. Because I was out one time, I saw a couple together. They was on their phone the whole time. They were not even talking to each other. I'm like, geez, man, it is. It's horrible.
Yeah.
As you could have stayed at home for that shit.
Yeah.
Why waste all that money?
There was somebody made this compilation of AI pictures of kids from the 1930s to now.
Uh-huh.
And it was like parks and outside and bikes and all that shit. And then when it hit, I think 2010, all the kids are on their phone.
Right.
And then the one for 2023, all the kids were like sitting down outside. Everyone was just here. No one was talking. I mean, it sounds like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. It's like when Pokemon Go came out.
I remember that, yeah.
To get people outside, but no one was interacting really. They were just all looking at their phone, walking around. I was like, well, it worked, but
I forgot about that too. That was crazy. Yeah, that was a phenom.
Yeah,
jeez.
There was a big thing at the park a few weeks back. I went to City Park to meet somebody's birthday. It was cold, but yeah, there was a slew of people. I was like, what the fuck's going on? It was a Pokemon Go thing. There was apparently a Pokemon there that 40 people were trying to catch. But it was fun. They were standing in circles all right here. No one was talking. And I was like, yeah.
Can you imagine society in the next 40 to 50 years?
Man, if there is a society in the next 40 or 50 years.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, then you got the well, AI. Then you got the dolls that's becoming a thing.
Sex dolls.
Yeah,
I want to get one of those.
really.
If I had the money, I'd buy one for sure. Why not? Fuck it.
I guess,
You
man.
can program it. You can. So I looked into them too because to see how much they cost, and I think they're like $3 or $4 for the cheaper ones. I think you can design them how you want to. I was like, this is bananas.
I mean, I ain't judging.
Oh no, I don't
all.
care if you were. I saw it and I was just like, it'd be better than jacking off all the time. Just get one of those and boom.
It's not like the real thing though.
No, it's not. But neither is this.
That's
so.
That's fact. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess it's for the guys who really have a hard time trying to find a woman, I suppose.
And so that's a big thing that social media has done.
Man.
It's created a men's loneliness epidemic. I've heard what it's called, and it makes perfect sense. So yeah, you're getting this exposure to all these people, and whether it was social media or however this whole thing started, women just started building this idea of the typical man that they want: 6'3", 6 figures, whatever else that, you know what I mean, the attributes were, and it all kind of the same. So what was it? I think 90% of girls are looking for 1% of men, and the rest of the dudes out there just like fuck, they're not being sought after. Yeah, dude, and it's awful because I'm sure there's plenty of great guys out there that may look a little less fortunate or not make that much money or whatever it is, dude. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see all these dudes fucking killing themselves and just all the shit that men are going through. I'm not saying solely based on social media, but
no,
it's certainly not helping.
No, it's not helping at all.
And then, you have these girls posting all these thirst traps and get these dudes hit them up, and these chicks fucking talk shit to them or are mean to them or like, what are you doing? It's like, well, what are you doing? What did you expect? You know what I mean? Like, right. You're sexualizing yourself. Obviously, you know that. And of course, these guys that are lonely and just want some, you know what I mean, want some sort of interaction and intimacy, they're gonna fucking maybe reach out. And it's sad, man.
It is.
It's scary.
And the thing about it too, like I get like the self-love and not needing anybody. I get all that, but at the same time, it's like as human beings, we are sociable beings.
Yeah,
we're not meant to just be alone 100%.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like we all have friends. We have things we want to do with other people.
Right.
So it just. I don't know, man. Just I think it's like a population control, to be honest. I really feel like that in some ways.
I used to believe in that, man. I don't know if I do anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, because I agree with population control 100%. As sad as that may be, because I've gotten a vasectomy. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
Yeah, I got a vasectomy September.
Okay, how was that?
It was awful. I was one of the unfortunate ones that didn't heal up quick. It took me like 8 days.
Oh,
I was fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that was that. But yeah, no. So, and like one of my reasons is especially now you'll notice that like a lot of these places are hiring, but I've been searching for a job hardcore for like 2 or 3 months, like fucking hard. Some people have been looking for longer and they're just not getting hired. So what the fuck's going on here? These places are hiring, but they're not actually hiring anybody. Or you go to these places that say they're hiring and they've got 2 people working.
Yeah.
What's going on? What are we doing? But I had the thought, I think it was yesterday actually. I was like, if there were less people, there would be more available jobs. There would be more demand for people to do things. So we have that crossed with also too, since 2020, you have this weird, like kind of lazy thing that I don't think it's necessarily lazy. It's just, I think people are just like, dude, fuck this system. Fuck doing this. This is fucking dumb. Like working this hard, this long and barely getting by. Like it makes no fucking sense. Like a company both of us know just raised the prices on certain parts of the things and then made budget cuts to the corporate side of it. And it's like, okay, so you're cutting the budget for corporate things, but you're increasing prices on things so you can bring more money in. That's just the board. That's the board being like, hey, we didn't make as much profit as we did last year. What can we do to change that?
Right.
We can fire people and we can fucking raise the rates that it's going to cost to be a part of it. And it's fucking disgusting. That shit. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I kind of got off on a tangent there, but I think if there were a little less people, there would be more opportunity to do things. Like I think Thanos had it right.
Oh yeah, with the stones.
Yeah, I think he had. If these worked, I'd snap it.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely need to restart.
And
I
somebody
think.
asked me, is like, would you still snap it if your family disappeared? And I was like, yeah, in a heartbeat,
Shit.
because it's not a selfish thing for me. Like, it would be fucking awful for sure. You know what I mean? I would mourn their loss, but it's not for me. I'm not doing this for me. This is for the fucking planet, for the longevity of everything else. He had it right, man. In my opinion,
Yeah.
he was kind of spot on with that.
No, I like the Thanos. I definitely understood where he's coming from for sure.
Yeah,
Even though he was like a villain, but it's like I definitely kind of get where he's coming from.
yeah. I wouldn't take away all life, just human life.
Yeah.
We got to figure something out. We're too parasitic. We're not. What's the word I'm looking for? Habitable, cohabitable. We're not cohabiting with the planet, right?
No.
If that is that the right way to say that?
I think it is cohabiting.
Yeah. We're not doing that with the planet. Like, everything else on Earth except for humans coexists with each other and the Earth. Given none of them can really build fucking houses and do shit that we do. But I feel like we just took a wrong turn somewhere. People got greedy. I guess people. I don't know, man. That's just the whole fucking thing.
I mean, I think by nature we just like power.
Yeah.
Seriously, we want to own things. We want to run things the way we want to, and that's why we have rules and laws. It'd be pure anarchy if we didn't.
So what if that comes from? What if we were planted here by aliens who conquer? You know what I mean? Like, they just go out and conquer planets, and so they planted people here, and that's why we have that drive. You know, I had I had a theory about that for white people. Why it seems white people are kind of generally more power hungry and power dominant, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And I don't mean any offense to anybody or anything.
Yeah, no offense.
It's just it kind of seems that way, right? Like slaveholders, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So throughout my years of watching conspiratorial things, I've come to this conclusion. Or not conclusion, just idea. So there was this story a long time ago, maybe Native American Mexico. These natives were out. They saw something shoot across the sky and crash. So they went to go check it out, and it was a spaceship. I don't know if this is true, whatever. Being gets out, and they describe the being as a tall, pale-skinned, light-haired, light-eyed person. And I was like, that was a tall white dude with blonde hair and blue eyes. Yeah. But when they said that, I was immediately like, well, that's what that was. And then I had the thought, I was like, what if white people are aliens? And just bear with me on this. Most ethnicities on the planet, just naturally dark skin, dark eyes, dark hair. You know what I mean? Whether it's Eskimos, Northern Russians, fucking Asians, African Americans, dark skin, dark eyes, dark hair. Obviously the, Northern Asians, a little bit lighter skin, but still dark hair, dark eyes. White people are usually the only ones that I've noticed with the vast difference of genetic expression. So, different colored eyes, different colored hair. And then when you mix those in with other races, that's when you start seeing the other, those attributes.
Yeah.
And so I thought, I was like, dude, what if white people are aliens? What if the Caucasian race is like a dominating, conquering alien species that goes to planets and tries to take it over? And it's far-fetched as fuck, but I was like, fuck, man, I was probably really stoned when I thought about it.
Probably.
But I was like, damn, that's a really cool idea, and would explain maybe at least the whole just grip on things that Caucasians tend to usually want to have, as far as like a whole. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a crazy fucking idea, but who knows?
Do you think you're an alien?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I came from here. Genetically, maybe.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. We all might be. And that's kind of the point I was saying before I got into that weird ass story, was maybe we all are. Maybe we just got seeded from Mars or something. I don't fucking know. Or maybe God did it, like the book says. I don't know. How do we get on this topic? That's how my brain works, dude. It's just fucking boom, boom, boom.
I'm the same way. I like to talk about just various different shit.
Yeah.
Just get on this tangent. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, I think our ocean has aliens in it, to be honest.
Yeah, octopi.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. Think about it. We only know about 20% of the ocean, I think, that's discovered.
Well, it's all mapped, but we can't we can't explore it.
No.
It's
too deep.
It's too deep. The pressure. I mean, yeah, the pressure alone, dude. Like what happened with that thing that went to go see the Titanic.
That was crazy.
Did you see the video? So it's not it wasn't like a live video
It
or
was like
anything.
a one of those
Like
CGI
yeah, like
videos.
this is how quick that actually happened.
Yeah.
It takes your brain what do they say, like 0.18 nanoseconds to register pain, and that collapse happened in like 0.12. So it collapsed and exploded before they even felt anything. That's how heavy that shit is down there, and that's why we can't really fucking do anything.
Right.
We just can't get to it. And whereas if if we are going to space, it's empty, so it's a little bit easier to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's a whole nother weird thing too. Is why the fuck haven't we been to the moon since '67? Before there were cell phones, before there was half the shit there is now, we sent fucking a couple trips to the moon, and we haven't been back since then. It's fucking weird. I mean, I don't guess there's much of a point to go.
Nah, I mean, I want to go to like the planets. I want to see more like footages of Jupiter and Saturn. I want to see the inside of it.
Yeah,
which is scary, but I want to see it.
We couldn't do that either.
No,
because of the pressure. Yeah, so Jupiter,
the gravity's like what 10 times of Earth,
probably more than that.
More than that, yeah.
Yeah,
and the temperature's so extreme.
Yeah, because it's probably cold as fuck up tall, but as the pressure gets, it's probably hot as fuck, dude.
They say it's hotter than the sun, actually.
So they're technically gas giants like that are just baby suns that never ignited. You know what I mean? Because it's all it is just that's all a star is. It's just a bunch of gas that gravity, gas until it just collapses and it ignites.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't know how that happens, but
I don't know either.
Essentially, that's what gas giants not are. It's just remnants of the gas left over that the sun didn't absorb. So like so all that happens, and when the sun ignites, it lets out that solar wind, right, and pushes all the excess gas out, and that's where the excess gas kind of just starts ringing up and then compiling into those gas giants.
Well, they say it rained diamonds.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
it probably does. Yeah, and I think one of Saturn's moons, maybe Titan, has is it Mercury? Like lakes of no. It's lakes of a metal. Just because the temperature and the pressure, everything's different. You know what I mean? So it's fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
Space is wild.
I know. I want to go. Well, I don't want to go myself, but I do want to see more footages.
Yeah.
Of it. I hope they make like a little like device where they can just fly it up themselves and we can really see it in 4K.
I don't know if I trust it.
Yeah. Then again, I don't know either.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
It's because again, my whole conspiracy brain, like, I'm not a flat earther, but I like some of the points that they have. And I like that it just defies just, just goes against like the conventional thing. But one of the things was like every image you see is CGI'd. You know what I mean? Especially like the stuff from that new the James Webb telescope. So it'll take like infrared. It'll take 3 different, like I think infrared, a green, and then a blue, and then it compiles them together. So what you're seeing isn't actually the true image. It's just 3 different spectrums put together. I could be misspeaking on that. But things like Jupiter, and there's a weird I've seen clips of it on a bunch of TikTok or TikTok podcast things. Have you ever seen a real photo of a satellite in orbit?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, and if you look it up, all the pictures of satellites are CGI'd.
Right, yeah.
And it's just weird shit like that. It's like, why? And then, so that makes me just inherently distrust the information that I'm getting, because it's like, why is that? Why? I mean, but to be fair, I've seen satellites in the sky. At least I'm assuming that's what they are, because they're too high to be a plane. There's no blinking lights, and it's just that white light just going pretty fucking fast across the sky. And then somebody I know, I think it might have been Tiffany, actually. I think she saw the Starlinks satellites. They're like 10 in a row.
She saw it in person?
I think so.
Okay.
It may not have been her. It was someone I know
that
was telling me about it. Yeah. I can't remember who the fuck it was. It might have been Cassie. I can't remember. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's space is weird, and I don't know if it's real.
I don't know either, man. Seriously, it makes me wonder, because even like with certain planets they talk about, it's like, how do we even know if we never been inside the planet?
Yeah.
It's all speculation.
Yeah, and so one of the things is they through, I don't know if it's radar, if they pick up like the light shining through the atmospheres and stuff, but somehow they can detect the composition, the elemental composition of the atmospheres based on the light that they pick up. I don't know. There was one planet though that they detected this chemical that apparently only like civilizations can make. It's some like it comes from burning like coal or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was some chemical that only civilized places make this chemical, and they detect it in this atmosphere of this planet. I don't remember which one it was, but so they were theorizing like, hey, there's probably life on here. If we detect this chemical, there's a good chance there's an advanced civilization there, at least enough to be making fire and doing stuff.
Shit.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Mars, was it?
No, fuck no.
Okay, I'm about to say
No,
it had to be
Mars is dead as fuck. No, it was one of the planets like 100 light years away kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, and even then, how can you see that? How can you
That's what
fucking
I'm
see
saying. I
that,
don't
dude?
know.
Like, how can you look that fucking far?
Right.
It's
What's the other planet called? What, Nebula? I think it's what it's called.
Nebula.
I think it's what it's called. It looked like Earth a little bit, kind of.
So there's no, that's a star. I'm thinking Alpha Centauri. Kepler. So there's Kepler. Kepler's, or I think it's Kepler 2a or something like that.
Yeah, I read about that one.
Yeah, so those are one of the Earth-like planets. I can't remember any of the other ones.
Man, would you even want to visit that? I don't. Nah.
If it was realistic and like we could fucking wormhole it, probably.
How would we get there? It'll take probably 20 years to get there.
Well, it depends. It just depends. So this is the unfathomable thing about space: is as big as it is and as much shit that's in it, space is vastly empty for the most part. Space is so empty, in fact. So what, several trillion, maybe billion years from now, the galaxy Andromeda, our closest galaxy, we're going to collide. We're going to cross paths and collide and eventually end up as one super galaxy, right? They believe that because everything is so spaced out, when we cross, nothing's going to hit. Like planets won't hit each other, stars won't hit each other because everything is so gapped out. And I mean, it makes sense, dude, because our solar system is by itself. The closest star to us is like 10, 15 light years away.
That's a long, yeah.
And then so then fathom that it's 15 light years away, meaning you have to be going the speed of light for 15 years. We can't go that fast.
No.
The speed of light's 250-ish thousand miles per second. It can lap the Earth 7 times in 1 second at the equator. That's how fast light moves.
Crazy, man.
And it still takes 15 years to get there. So even in the vastness of space, the speed of light's fucking slow. So it's a matter of figuring out a wormhole, a warp drive, something like that, a wormhole that can cut a hole here, cut a hole there. How they would do that is an amount of energy that we're not going to be able to do anytime soon, because we're barely just in a type 1 civilization. So the technology it would take to do that is unfathomable right now. So either that or a warp drive, something that compresses the space in front of you and expands the space behind you. So it basically just brings that here. And so you're not technically moving, you're just moving space around you. And again, that's another thing that the eons away from trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't see that happening no time soon. Maybe in the next 200 years, probably.
Yeah. Maybe scratching the surface of it then.
Yeah.
Because what was it? Type 1 civilization. I don't even think we're almost there, and that's where you can manipulate your environment. So type 1 would be to where we can start like terraforming our own planet. I think I could be wrong on that. And then type 2 is you can manipulate your star. So building things like a Dyson sphere around our sun. Are you familiar with what that is at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just building one of those, and then the type 3, I think, is you can manipulate the environment of your solar system. I could be wrong on that one.
See, I don't see that happening either.
Eons, if we can make it that far, if we as a planet, as a civilization, as a species, can even make it that far, and that was one of the paradoxes for why we haven't seen aliens. Is I can't remember. I could be misspeaking, but I think it was called the threshold paradox or something. And essentially, civilizations, if they are taking place throughout history, either they get wiped out by a natural disaster, and that's just what happens, or they wipe themselves out, and that's why. So there's a ceiling that civilizations get to that, for whatever reason, whether it's natural disasters or self-destruction, that we just can't get past. So that's perhaps why we haven't seen aliens or seen any kind of anything else. And that makes sense, just based on our experience here, just a bunch of dumb monkeys fucking doing what we're doing in Ukraine and fucking now in the Middle East again. So it makes sense that if something doesn't happen to us, there's a good chance we're going to do it to it ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. I can see that.
And even if we don't go extinct, we're just restarting. and then getting back to that point and then restarting.
Right.
And like you said, history repeating itself, just cycling back and forth until we figure out whatever the fuck it is to break through that glass ceiling.
So would you want to meet aliens?
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. It'd be cool. I mean, depending on their intent, for sure. Either way, though, I mean, I guess if we got taken as slaves, it'd still be kind of neat.
They may want to probe you.
Fuck it.
Okay.
I don't care. I've had fingers in my butt. I don't care. Do whatever. What are you going to do? You're going to fight them off? Apparently, they can fucking do whatever they, these people that talk about getting abducted, like, I can't move and they're just fondling me. So what am I going to do?
Right. You just have to accept your fate, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm here. Fuck it.
Yeah. Damn.
Send it.
Damn.
What about you?
Do
you want to meet an alien?
I mean, I guess if I have no choice.
Okay, so if you had a choice, I guess. No scenario, just whatever happened, whether it was malintent or just like, hey.
I guess, I suppose I would. It just depends. I don't think if we made an alien, they won't be like how they are on TV. They might be totally different.
I mean, that's, yeah. What do you mean, like the Greys?
Yeah, you know what I mean, or whatever. Who knows?
There's probably different species of them,
probably.
And then there's a theory too that they're just us from the future that figured out how to time travel, and that's why they don't really interact because they don't want to fuck with anything.
Do you believe in time traveling? Well, do you think we'll be able to have that one day? Maybe not in our lifetime, but in centuries to come. Well, not centuries, but I say maybe 50 to 100 years from now, maybe.
That's a good question. My view on time travel brings in string theory and multiverse things. So I don't think if you could time travel and you went, like the whole granddad thing, if you went back, killed your granddad, then you were never born. So how are you even there? I think we look at time like that too linear. Like, so what I believe is if that were to happen, if you were able to go back in time, you're not following your timeline anymore. If you're jumping into an alternate parallel universe or dimension, or you know what I mean? Meaning it's the same but different now because you went back there.
Right.
It can't. So you went back to that timeline, but everything you went through is going to be the exact same, and you'll still go back through that. But it's not going to affect anything else. Does that make sense? Because I don't think you're going back to the same time. Like if I went back to my 12-year-old self and it's like, hey, start right now, you're going to be a Navy SEAL, stop fucking around and do it. I'm not going to come back here and be a Navy SEAL. I'm going to still be in my life. But that timeline, Tim, is going to be a Navy SEAL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think time travel is going to be, if there even is traveling through the past, I think we just have a false view of that.
So is there anything you would change about your past or no? If you could.
That's tough, man. That's tough. So if I would change, it would be that I would go back and be like, hey, you're not going to fuck around. Like you're not going to smoke weed. You're not going to you're going to start running. You're going to go to the Navy recruiter's office as much as you can. And just, you're going to go down that line and be a fucking SEAL. Like that's what you're going to do.
Right.
However, there's a good chance I'd be dead. There's a good chance I would have never met Corey. There's a good chance I would have never met a lot of people that I met and know and love. So probably not. I wouldn't change anything now. However, especially knowing that it would change another timeline and not mine, oh yeah, I'd fucking go back. But hey, man, you're gonna do this.
Yeah,
and this is why.
Right.
And then he can do that.
Right. Now that makes sense.
But yeah, that's how I believe time travel would work. Personally,
I would change me going to art school. I would change that shit.
Like you wouldn't go, or you
Hell
would
nah,
go?
No. All that money. Oh man, a lot of money I got to pay back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the experience I had was cool. Like the friends that I made was great, but as far as the time that I wasted, it wasn't worth it to me at all.
Just because it didn't pan out, or
no, I dropped out, man. Like I dropped out in 2008 because my advisor, he showed me how much money I owed. He said, "Man, if I was you, I quit." I said, "You know what? I'm quitting." That's what I did. And they had us using software from '99, bro. I'm like, dude, at the time it was like what 2007, 2006, yeah. So around that time, I was like, look, I said, why are we using software that's like 7, 8 years old?
That sounds about right, though. That's some Southern shit.
You know what I mean?
Technology, yeah.
I'm like, I said, really, man? Like,
yeah,
I'm paying all this money for that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now I did have a psychology class that was pretty dope, and I had let me see, I had a video production class, which was dope. I had a digital audio workstation, which was dope as well, which is like software type shit, recording and recreating sounds and placing on movie clips. That was pretty dope.
Right.
I have respect for that shit too.
So case in point, then you took something very good away from it.
Yeah.
And if you change that, would you have gotten that? You know what I mean? There's lessons in everything.
Right.
And so, and that's another thing too, is like when you change stuff, you're changing your lessons that you learn along the way. You know, you're taking away what made you. You know what I mean? That whole experience is what made Patrick Thrasher. Is that your last name?
Yeah, it's my last name.
No shit, that's a cool last name.
Yeah, it's real. I see my driver's license.
I know, I believe you. I just thought that was like a cool little thing you made up. I didn't know that's dope. Good for you,
facts, man.
Good for you.
Yes,
that's cool. But yeah, so it wouldn't, you know, if you're changing those things like that, then you're taking away the decisions and roots that made you who you are.
That's true.
You know, and so that's where it's like, if you could change the past, would you really? Like, would I go back and fucking not? So I've thought about that, like the way my grandma died, like I would, because I talked to her, I think a few days before that, I tell her like, hey, like Monday, how about you go to mom's house when you drop Jackson off? Because you're going to lock yourself outside. You know what I mean? For sure. But then I start thinking about, okay, so if something like that happened, then it was marked. You know what I mean? Like she was marked for death. If a freak accident, I feel like, you know what I mean? It was marked. And so if you took that away, then is it just marked and it's just for another time? Like, is it just going to happen again at another, you know what I mean? Like you're just setting it up to happen again at another time. That's all you're doing. Not necessarily the same thing, but she's still going to die in somewhere around that timeline. Like a canon event. You know what I mean? Have you seen Across the Spider-Verse, the new one?
No, I haven't. No.
So it's kind of like that. Like it's a canon event. It's something that has to happen because that's part of the story. There's other things you can change up, but that event stays the same. When you try to change it, they still die, just maybe a different way. Kind of like the Butterfly Effect movie. He can go back to the moments that he writ in the journal, but that's it.
That was a good movie.
So that's what I mean. So those pivotal moments, like those are the canon moments. Like that's where something happened that if you change, that's where it's going to branch off. But you can't really change it. You know what I'm saying?
When's your grandmother pass?
Do what?
When's your grandmother pass? Did she pass recently or she passed?
Oh yeah, it was it was like 2018.
Okay.
19. Yeah, it was a while back.
Right.
Yeah. But it's a freak accident. You know what I mean? She locked herself out of the house and tried to climb up on the patio and fell.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's fucked up. It was everybody was really mad at her because I think she had just had elbow surgery. She was older. She wasn't fit at all. She was shaped like a turtle. You know, she wasn't like fat, but she, you know, rounder here, smaller arms.
Right.
And she put my brother on the bus, and then so her house on the front side was the top level because the ground had been built up, and then around the sides the ground went down and exposed like the basement, so it exposed the 2-story house. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess she locked herself out of the house, and my mom lived right beside her. She could have just walked down there, got in and got a key, but instead she grabbed the shittiest 6-foot step ladder, like an old ranky wooden one, and there was 2 other new aluminum ones out there that she could have used, but she grabbed the old shitty one that reached maybe halfway up to the patio, and pull-ups are hard. And so I'm imagining she maybe got up to like this, you know what I mean, and then kicked the ladder, and then she went, and then she was there all fucking day, because my mom called me early, that like it's fucking 4:00 the next morning, and told me they found her, and I was like, oh shit, that's gnarly. Not that reaction, but yeah, man. So my if I was to go back and change that, would I actually be changing anything, or just buying her another minute, you know? And then what would I be changing? What would be different, you know? Because it's not just my life, it's her life too, because she lost her husband, my pawpaw, a couple years before that.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, man. So I don't know if I would really change anything if I could. They're changing it into like a brighter topic, though. There is a way to time travel into the future. It's just something we can't do yet. And so that would be traveling at the speed of light, or close to. I think it was I could be wrong, 10 years or 100 years for every year at light speed travel. So if you were to fly 5 years out at light speed and 5 years back. So that's 10 years for you. I think it would be 100 years or 1,000 years here.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because of time. So like the movie Interstellar, when they're close to that black hole, same concept. Time dilation. Don't know how it works. It's fucking weird, but yeah.
Wow.
That's a way we could do that.
Would you want to do that? Moving forward? I'm trying to enjoy the moment, man.
Yeah, no. Man, I think if I didn't have anything, if it was just me and family was gone, whatever,
You'll do it.
Yeah, I'd do it for sure. But right now, no.
Right.
No.
You're enjoying the moment too, right?
Yeah. I'm happy with where things are going right now.
Yeah, so, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you said something about the black hole too. I was thinking about that. So do you believe in the black hole, like as far as like what would happen to you if you fly into it? That's a dumb question. I know that. I like questions.
No,
like
it's
that.
Not a dumb question. Okay. So no, this is. I'm not an expert, but I wanted to do shit like this for school, but I just wasn't good at math. So you can't do, you can't do theoretical physics or fucking astronomy if you're not good at math. But yeah, so a black hole. What do you? So do you think I believe like you spaghettify or what? I mean, yeah, it would make sense. So all it is just an infinite amount of gravity, right? Or maybe not even infinite amount. It could be, but you have these giant stars that I love this shit. You have these giant stars, and so what's happening is these stars are creating elements. So right now, our sun's burning or fusing hydrogen into helium. That's what makes it, right? Just boom, all this clashing hydrogen into helium, and eventually it'll run out of hydrogen and it starts fusing helium. And that's when our sun specifically is going to swell out to about us. It'll get that big. It won't be as dense because helium is light, but it'll just be really big. And so in stars, that's what happens. It continues to happen. Helium into the next one. It was like carbon into whatever, boom, boom, boom. So these stars are constantly just slamming these elements in together, creating heavier ones, right? And until you get to iron. Once the star creates its first atom of iron, it'll collapse within, I don't know how many milliseconds, but it's pretty instantaneous because it happens so quick, right? So because iron is so heavy, the force and I think the reaction of the fusion isn't as strong. So that's also what's happening too, is you have gravity pushing on a sun, and all this explosion is what's helping to keep it balanced, right? And so when you get to iron, the reaction isn't as strong to keep that out. And so that's when, boom, you get a supernova. Depending on how big the star, depends on how big the supernova. And when that star supernovas, that's when you get heavier elements, gold, silver, uranium, all that heavy shit. That's made in supernova. So the bigger the supernova, the heavier the elements that you can make. And that's why those things are so rare, because it takes a big star to make them, and those don't happen too much, right?
Right.
So that's why there's a finite amount of gold and silver, uranium, things like that, is because it was made in the very last seconds of that supernova, and only a small amount of time it could be made. So yeah, with a black hole, that's happening, but on a fucking massive scale. And when that gravity collapses, I don't know if it tears the fabric of space-time. I don't know if it's like a tear that's a drain. You know what I mean? Like when you unplug your toilet. I don't know if that's what a black hole is, taking stuff into another alternate dimension. There's theories of white holes out there that are anti-black holes. So essentially everything a black hole's taking in, these white holes are spitting out somewhere else. I don't think they've ever seen one, but I think it's a theory. So, I mean, as far as what goes on in there, man, I really don't know. Like, that can be up for fucking debate forever, because Interstellar, I think, did a pretty cool job of showing what the inside of a black hole could look like. But you surviving through that, I mean, it's tough to say, because it rips things apart. It deatomizes everything. So I don't think a human could make it through. However, as you're approaching the event horizon, because time has dilated so much and gravity is so intense, if it was me and you push me into the black hole and you're outside of its gravitational pull, you're just watching me fall. Once I get to the event horizon, you'll see me stop. And I'll be right there for, I think, as long as you're going to be right there. My light and my image is going to be right there and not change. However, from my perspective, I'm going to watch the future of the entire universe play out because of where I'm at and gravity. You know what I mean? So that would be pretty neat to see. And I've always said if I was Superman built like that, I would jump into a black hole. Like if I was tired of doing shit and I was over everything, I'd just fucking jump in and see what happened.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that shit. I used to be really big into space and really wanted to do that for a career for a long time. But like I said, I just wasn't good at math. So
You ever had a telescope?
nah,
No.
man. I've had one of the shitty ones,
Okay.
but I've always wanted one of those big ones. You know what I mean? Like the chunky ones you can put in your house.
Right.
That would be really cool.
Now I want to get one of those as well because it just fascinates me. Just see how the space is, well, how the planets are, how they orbit, and just the atmosphere of it.
Yeah.
Well, you can't even breathe without a suit, though, right?
No,
Yeah.
you can't. Well, and that's a cool thing too, is what they've like, you know, the how Hollywood has kind of portrayed what it would be like to die in space. And I think the one that's got it closest to correct was Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I didn't see that. I seen the first two.
Yeah, so you don't die instantly and you won't like explode or immediately freeze over in that. So I think the second one too, when Hondo, when he dies, kind of like that, just that slow frost over. And I think you want to like breathe all your oxygen out, because if it's in, your blood will boil. That's how you'll fucking explode.
Oh,
But
man, it sucks.
if you breathe all your oxygen out and get the gas out of you as much as you can, like you can survive a little longer. And I think they said it's not absolute zero either. I don't fucking know. It's wild. It's a wild thing.
That is.
And
man.
then to think of just the whole expanse of that, it's like you have this giant emptiness with all these things, these planets in it, and then we're fucking here. We're literally the universe become aware of itself. You know what I mean? And so again, too, the supernova thing, that's where our solar system came from. There was a big star here that blew up, and that's where all this came from. And so we came from that. Our atoms came from that fucking star that blew up. It's fucking it's wild to think about, dude.
Has there been any supernovas lately that you know of?
That I don't know.
Because I haven't read anything about it, at least not lately.
I don't know. I want to say, well, and that's the thing too, is we won't know, because the things that we see are 100 light years away. So
Right.
it's going to be that long before that light gets here. You know, so when we're looking up into the sky, we're looking up into the past. You know, we're looking hundreds of millions of years ago, kind of thing. So, any supernova that we do see would have happened millions of years ago. I don't think so. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Jeez, man. Yeah, it's fascinating, man. It's kind of scary at the same time, because it's a lot that we don't know.
Yeah.
At the same time, so yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you see like those space images of the Earth that are like kind of on the edge, and there's like that much gas between us and nothing.
That's crazy.
It's just
man.
like that much. You know,
What?
we're this huge ball, and there's just like this little thin little blue layer of
Yeah.
gas that just keeps everything here. It's fucking wild.
That is wild. Wow. Huh.
And it takes like, and again, going through that asteroid belt, something like that, a fucking solar flare, like anything could wipe it out.
Right.
It's wild and scary.
Well, thank God we have Jupiter, right? Because it protects us from asteroids. Well,
Yeah.
they say at least.
Yeah, so its gravitational pull can help like deter orbits of asteroids and stuff like that. And scientists, I think they believe that that's why we're still around, is because of Jupiter, and why we just haven't been pummeled. Because look at our moon. And that's wild too, is
All
why
those
does the
craters.
moon look like that, dude? And it has, all those craters and shit. And where are ours? Like we have a couple, like was it Australia? I think there's one in Arizona.
Mhm.
There's the one in the Yucatan Peninsula that killed the dinosaurs. And, you know, we have a couple, but we don't have a whole lot of,
No, not even close.
which is weird.
Yeah, it
It
is.
doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna kind of segue somewhere else now. Would you ever get back on TV again?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you tried to sign up for the show again or no?
So they not just, I think it was a few months back, they were taking applications for the second season, but you had to have a passport this time.
Oh,
And I don't have one. So
you should get one.
I should get one. Just, it's on the list.
It's like $170. I got one. I haven't used it yet.
Yeah. It's on the list of things to get, but yeah, no, I would do it again for sure. Maybe not that show,
With something else.
just based on how they ended up doing it.
Right.
I'd want to do like an actual, like Alone would be cool.
Well, what about like Naked and Afraid?
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that shit.
I'm really hairy and I have a small dick, so it'd be comical for her at least. So it'd be fun. I'd do it for sure.
Hey man, go for it. You might as well.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it just because I don't want to get hypothermia.
They're not going to let you. The one thing, the whole thing with TV is there's other people there. Especially
Right,
there's
that's
a
true.
camera crew there.
Right.
There's producers there. There's a fucking doctor there. Like even on Alone, after doing this show, I would bet that they could call their, you know what I mean, that it's not just that one contact like, hey, I quit, boom. I would bet that they would come out there every other day or so to check on them. It's because you can be on medications and do stuff like that. Like I'm on testosterone and I got to bring my shit up there with me and give it to the doctor.
Really?
Yeah.
So how's it working for you?
Good now.
Okay.
So, cause me being so broke, I was having to like half my dose. So I take my 1 month supply and turn it into 2. And so that didn't really help much, but it at least allowed some testosterone in my body.
Okay.
But yeah. No, it's good. I wish I wouldn't have started it, but it's whatever.
Why you started in the first place?
Because I was ignorant and what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say egotistical. So what had happened was I was at the Fort Collins Club and I was working out, and one of my buddies came up to me, and I was bench pressing 115 and I was struggling, and I was 30 years old. And he came up and he's like, "Hey man, how long have you been lifting?" And so at that point too, I'd never been like super consistent. You know what I mean? Like with eating or anything, it was just kind of on and off. But at that point, I mean, I've lifted a good bit throughout my life, just again, never really consistent. And I told him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, how old are you again?" I was like 30. And he said, "Yeah, you should get your testosterone checked." And he didn't say it in many words, but he asked me that because he saw me struggling on 115 on a flat bench. And so, yeah, I went and got it checked. And yeah, my numbers, I think my testosterone is like 350, which is pretty low.
Yeah.
Because I think the limits now are like 200 to 800 is the acceptable. And that shit drops every year or every couple of years. But yeah, I wish I would have been more, what's the word I'm looking for? More forethoughtful and had maybe some friends around that were like, "Hey man, let's try to spend the next 2 or 3 years on changing your nutrition and your working out and try to, you know, develop your endocrine system on your own compared to doing this, because now you're just stuck. You know, if something happens, I'm fucked."
Damn.
So yeah, I wish I would have just had that kind of insight to myself and, you know, patience. But
Well, you didn't know.
yeah,
Hindsight 2020.
yeah,
Man.
it's just like fuck. And so now I'm in it. I'm in the race.
But your diet's pretty good overall. Or is it
Yeah,
better?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've lost, well, so I've lost 30 pounds since like the 22nd of December.
Really?
Yeah,
That much?
yeah. I was 217 before Corey started moving, and so that was like mid-December
Shit.
when I weighed myself at her house, and then I did the body scan, I think last Monday, and I was at 190.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
especially for your height too, it's really good.
yeah, I'm trying to get back down to like 175.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm getting back into running, and running heavy is fucking hard. I don't like it. So I'm trying to get lighter.
Running sucks in general. Okay. I hate it.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of it.
But I want to do the Black Squirrel again this year, and so I want to do that.
Is it this summer?
It's in September.
September. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to do it on my own in like June or July with Chris, that buddy I cold plunge with.
Yeah.
He does ultras and shit. So I asked him if he would run it with me, because I want to do it on my own in June or July just to do it, and then I want to do the race in September.
Shit. Well, go for it, man.
I am.
You're on the right track.
That's the plan. So yeah, I've lost that weight. Not just because of what I'm eating, but I'm severely under eating. Just finances.
I get it.
Just getting what I can in. So I just have, I fast until like 12 or 1, and then I'll have my breakfast, and then I'll have dinner around 6 or 7, and that's all I eat today, or eat during the day usually. Yeah. So severely under eating. But again, just once I get to a place where I can afford more food, I'll get there. But the quality of it, aside from the severe lack of it, the quality's been really good. So for breakfast, I'll have 5 egg whites, so it's like 160 grams, 150 grams, and then 1 whole egg, and then 2 slices of bacon, giant cup of milk. And then dinner is usually about a half pound. It's like 160 grams of a 92.8 ground beef, like a hamburger steak, and then about 140 grams of Brussels sprouts with butter, and then a giant cup of sweet tea.
Brussels sprouts. Ugh.
So I've never liked them, man, but you cook them in butter with some salt and pepper, they're not fucking, and if you cook them long enough too, where they get all gooey in the middle, they're not fucking bad. and I'm not doing it because I like it. I wanted to cut down on carbs, and I wanted to just start being a little bit more healthier.
Yeah.
And so, and then Gary Brecka had said the only greens he ever eats is Brussels, asparagus, and sometimes broccoli. Um, so I don't like fucking asparagus. Broccoli, I've seen too many things lately that is not good, not as good for you.
But
Yeah,
I eat broccoli all the time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like there's it's bullshit. You can't fucking figure anything out because there's always two opposing sides to any fucking dietitianary review or whatever. It's like carnivore is good for you because of X, carnivore is bad for you because of Y. And it's like, God damn, can we just figure something out that so what I do is I just try to take information from both and fucking blend them together.
Yeah.
Like, so okay, cool. Broccoli maybe have something going on with it, so I'll do Brussels instead. And which, to be fair, too, broccoli always would fuck with my stomach, so I kind of quit eating that. Yeah, it'd give me heartburn, which is fucking stupid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How do you cook it? Do you steam it or what?
So I bake all my vegetables. I roast them, I guess you could say. Yeah, I'll just some avocado oil, salt, pepper, 450 for 30 minutes. Because my broccoli, I would burn it. I liked it when it was burnt.
Yeah, I like my food.
And put some Cholula on it.
There you go.
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good.
Damn. Well, I just try to, I don't know, I try to eat things in moderation, but I definitely eat broccoli every day. I used to hate broccoli as a child.
Yeah.
You cannot pay me enough to eat that shit
back in
the day, but now I eat it with nothing. Well, I put turmeric powder on mine.
You put turmeric on it?
Yeah.
So I'll do that sometimes too.
Well, it's good for inflammation.
Yeah, it's good for your blood.
It is. It's great for us. So I try to, incorporate that a lot.
Yeah.
Now, today is Sunday, so that's my cheat meal. I eat whatever I want on Sunday.
Yeah.
I might eat a whole piece or a hamburger somewhere. Depends how I feel.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
What's your favorite cheat meal?
Oh man. I just say pizza, I guess. Yeah, that's my favorite. It's pizza. A lot of carbs, but it's good.
Yeah, pizza's dope.
It's perfect.
What kind of pizza? Like do you get frozen, you order?
Sometimes I get frozen, but sometimes I order as well.
Okay. What's your frozen go-to?
I like meat.
No, like the brand.
Oh. DiGiorno's is pretty cool.
DiGiorno?
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. I was I'm listening to Joe Rogan's his newest one with Shane Gillis and Matt McCollum. That's not right. But anyways, they were just talking about frozen pizzas, and they was like, "What's your favorite frozen one?" And he said DiGiorno is pretty
Really?
bomb. He was like, "But if you're eating DiGiorno, you're also a piece of shit because you're probably blacked out drunk when you're eating it." Have you tried Screaming Sicilian?
No.
You should try those.
Really?
Dude, yeah, there's sauce. It's the best frozen pizza I've ever had. It's fucking bomb.
Is it at Whole Foods or Walmart?
They're at Walmart, and I get them at King Soopers.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have their cheese one's really good. Their pepperoni one's just doused. They're
really?
Yeah, dude, it's doused. What I would do sometimes is I get their cheese pizza and then buy a pack of the thick cut pepperoni and pepperoni it myself.
What?
But dude, their sauce is so good.
Really?
Yeah, they've got a really good sauce. The best frozen pizza sauce for sure, in my opinion.
It's pretty pricey, isn't it?
It's like $11 for one of their pizzas.
I guess it's
normal.
worth it.
Yeah, so normal. And then if you can get them on sale, sometimes they're BOGOs. So you can buy one, get one.
Shit.
I know, dude. That's when it's dope. Yeah, they're good. They're good.
I might have to go buy that today.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
Huh. All right, you got me sold. For real.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man.
Took long enough.
Yeah, it did. But you look at you now.
Look at me now. Just fucking struggling.
It's okay, man. One step at a time. I mean, I'm still trying to make a way myself, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I give myself grace. I just keep pushing forward so I get to where I want to be at.
That's good.
Well, wherever that may be. I mean, with this podcast, I don't know, but I'm just trying to make it happen.
Yeah, I need to get my podcast going again.
You need to, man.
I need to,
dude.
Do that. Yeah, all my shit's just sitting in my closet.
You spent too much money to let it waste like that.
Yeah, I did.
That's why I'm still doing mine. I spent too much money. I got to keep going.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I should. And then I need to relearn because I think the software that I use updated.
Oh,
and
shit.
By the time I quit, by the time I stopped doing it, I had already forgotten how to use the software.
What did you use?
OBS Studios is what I was using.
Yeah.
Because you could split it up and you could, I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. I wanted to figure out though, like I told you before, is get that multi-camera setup like Joe has, man. I think that's fucking dope.
I'm working on it myself. Yeah.
Because you could have one here, and here. And then you could have like a remote in your hand, and while I'm talking, you click a button and it's just on me. And then when you start, you click a button, and then somebody else or whatever. Because I've thought about that too, seeing if like maybe Corey would want to produce it and just sit behind a computer so we could ask her to Google shit, or something.
That'd be
like
dope
that.
as shit.
I know that's the idea. But yeah, I got a lot to do.
No, I'm trying to like figure it out myself, man. Because I know with Riverside I use, they got a setting or a feature you can do that with.
Okay.
Yeah. I just gotta buy some more cameras. Like I got cameras over here, but it's decent.
Yeah.
I gotta buy some more cameras and then just have it all set up. It's a a process.
Yeah,
it takes time.
Cameras are like the good cameras are going to be expensive too.
Oh man, I know it is, man. And
it's the whole thing.
And it's right now. I gotta I get my car fixed. That's more important right now.
Yeah.
Once I get that fixed, then I can move on to something else at that point.
Yeah, you'll get there, man.
Oh, I will. I mean, just this whole axle thing, and then of course, this leaking thing. We don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, it's fucking cars.
We got to take apart like the bottom of it and then try to track it.
Yeah,
which I don't know, man. Just I don't want to buy another car.
No, I don't want to either.
I don't want a car note. Things are too expensive.
Yeah,
don't need that.
Yeah, everything's expensive.
It is, man.
It's sad.
But is there anything that you want to say before we go?
Keep being positive. If you're having a hard time in your life, just keep fucking going. Don't stop. Don't give in to booze, man. Look, and so let me touch on this really quick.
Go ahead,
So as we were speaking earlier, with the panic attack starting in December of 22, those 2 years prior to that, so from 2020 into that, I was a pretty heavy drinker. I've always smoked, so that's always been a thing. But I quit drinking with the panic attacks, and then I think around June or July, I started drinking again. And then I drank again up until maybe 2 months ago or something like that. That was so when I drank and then quit drinking, I didn't notice much of a contrast. I was severely mentally unhealthy. I was very unwell. I was depressed. When I sobered up, it was a mental decline. And I don't know if it was just from the 2 years of boozing, just completely altered my brain chemistry, and then sobering up, and it was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. I don't know. But then started drinking again, and then I quit drinking again. And now I can see the contrast. I feel so much better. I'm happier. Things are kind of going my way, per se. I'm putting more effort into things. So my point is if you feel stalled, if you feel stuck in your life, if you feel any kind of negativity, just don't give up on yourself. If you have anything that you enjoy doing, keep doing that. Don't stop. Don't give up. You have to keep going. I put this video out the other day while I was running. I had this really cool epiphany. When you're running and you see where you have to go, it can be kind of daunting because it's so far away. Maybe sometimes put your head down and just look at your feet and just make sure you're putting one foot in front of the other. So in life, if you have this goal or this task, or you feel like everything's too overwhelming, just put your foot in front of the other one and keep walking. Just keep moving forward. That's what I could say for that. I saw myself decline so far, and I almost lost everything. And I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. So stay clean. If you smoke weed, that's fine. Just be smart about it. Stay away from the booze, man, and just try to be healthy and make your life better.
Hey, that's facts. I also would like to add, be aware of your surroundings, like the people you engage with. That makes a huge thing. Having a good support system. Yeah,
support system. Surround yourself with people you want to be like, people that you like. Be inquisitive. Ask questions. Reach out to people. Don't be fucking scared to share your feelings with somebody, man. Don't be worried about that. If you want to fucking cry, cry. Don't just do you, and just be good at doing you.
Hey, that's real shit. And that's one thing as men, like, I guess we got to get better with that.
Yeah. It's still even hard now, dude. I called one buddy one day, which, to be fair, I was a sobbing mess. And he was like, whoa, dude, you call me back when you calm that shit down.
Damn.
Fair, but also, ow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. But, yeah, it's tough. It's tough out here for dudes, man. So fucking just find something. Find anything that you enjoy doing, and fuck other people. Fuck the pussy chase. Fuck the money chase. Obviously, do what you got to do, but just worry about you. Focus on you. Don't get so caught up in other things that you start losing yourself.
Oh yeah, it happens to all of us.
Happens
man.
to me.
Yeah,
Happened to me. Happens to me.
Yeah.
You know, and you know the advice I'm giving right now is something I need to be aware of too, because we're all guilty of
that's
it.
real shit.
It is.
Yeah.
And yeah. Also, just really quick name drop here. If you're a local Fort Collins person, one of my good friends, Sienna Rain, has dropped her new company. Yeah, so
That's
they
what
go
you're
to,
wearing. Okay.
Yeah, they go to the gym. I don't know if you've ever met Jordan and Sienna. They're there early in the mornings.
Nah, what they look like? They old?
No, so Jordan's like a 24-year-old millionaire. Both of them would be really cool people to have on here.
Okay.
Yeah, he invented something for prosthetics that allows the prosthetic to feel, so you can feel hot and cold or
Really?
something. I could be wrong on that, but he invented something for prosthetics. Kid's a success. And then him and Sienna just got engaged this past weekend. And congratulations. Yeah. And she started Rain, which is her coaching company, and obviously apparel. And so I just wanted to kind of, you know, support a local thing because they're awesome people. They're really, really good. They're really good people.
Let me see. Yeah, show that.
Yeah. So Rain, RANE. I don't think they have a website yet. Actually,
They got an Instagram.
She has an Instagram. I don't think they have a page ready yet because this just dropped. Like maybe at the end of last week. I think he brought in some brochures and some cards and set them at the gym. But yeah, just a super cool local, you know, coaching, mental health kind of thing. And I completely want to support them as best I can. So apparel, hit them up, look them up if you're looking for advice or coaching or anything like that. And yeah, I told them I was coming on here.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, man, like you guys should get on there because they would be really good guests for you.
I would love to have them on there.
Yeah, because Jordan, I think, is 24. Mm-hmm. He's made millions and lost millions and made millions back. So
I gotta pick his brain,
dude. Yeah, he's smart as fuck.
Yeah,
I pitched him a couple of the ideas that I have, and he's like, hey man, like you got something there. So we're working on some stuff. Yeah.
Hey, good luck, man.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I'm support you too. I'm rooting for you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
full support. That's why I'm here, dude. P Thrasher.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Seriously, I want to see you flourish, man.
I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody win, and I want to be happy seeing everybody win.
Me too.
I don't want to feel envy.
No,
like, oh, I wish I had that.
Right.
You know, I want to be like, God damn, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I had that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. So yeah, man, we'll get there.
Well, that's dope as shit. You supported them and you shouted them out. That's great. Yeah. We got to get you going as well.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah,
Mothman.
Mothman. That's right. Instagram Mothman. You can see his fitness. He's a personal trainer at Crunch Fitness. So look him up if you come to Crunch.
Yeah, come to Crunch. I'll be there.
If
not, Mothman _, was it Mothman Fitness? And then Mothman the Gray are my two Instagrams. So feel free to hit me up, follow me, whatever. I don't care.
He's a great trainer. He has a great personality, as you see. He's very funny. He's very knowledgeable.
Stop.
No, you are, man.
Getting my panties all wet over here.
It's true, man. It's true. For real.
Thank you.
I'm not just saying it to be saying it.
You're very sweet.
I try, man. All right. Stay tuned in for the next episode. All right. Peace.
Bye.